These are the rolling hills of West Yorkshire, some 200 miles north of London. And this is the village of Haworth, our home for the first of 3 very special episodes of Red's Classic Theatre from Great Britain. Good evening from England and welcome to our show. Now, this small village and the surrounding moorlands were the inspiration for Emily Bronte, who lived here with her sisters Anne and Charlotte when she wrote the dramatic masterpiece Wuthering Heights. The film adaptation of her story is our feature movie tonight. Wuthering Heights was produced for United Artists by Sam Goldwyn, who had tons of English heather shipped to California, where much of the film was actually shot. And Laurence Olivier accepted his role in the film with the understanding that his paramour, Vivien Leigh, would play the female lead. Well, Sam Goldwyn would not meet her price, so the role of Kathy went to Merle Oberon. Now here's Act 1 of Wuthering Heights. Hope you're enjoying Wuthering Heights this week on Red's Classic Theatre as we visit the hometown of Emily Bronte at Haworth in West Yorkshire. The village was once a famous weaving center, but now its world fame rests on the renown of the Bronte sisters. And the building right behind me is known as the Parsonage. It stands high above the village and once was the Bronte family home. The Bronte family, the 6 children, 5 sisters and a brother, were raised by their father, the Reverend Patrick Bronte, and a maiden aunt after their mother died. Although rooms have been added and the landscaping has changed, there were no trees when the Brontes lived here, their home remains much as it was 170 years ago. Today, it's a museum which displays fascinating Victoria-era pieces from the lives and times of the Bronte sisters. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Sadly, the lives of the Bronte sisters was somewhat tragic. Because they published their works under assumed names, the girls never enjoyed the fame or fortune their writing would bring. And then, too, plagued by illness, each of the girls died at a relatively young age. Emily at 30, Anne at 29, and Charlotte, the eldest, at 39. Their brother Branwell died at the age of 31, never knowing his sisters were very famous novelists. And now let's return to Wuthering Heights. Hope you're enjoying Wuthering Heights on Red's Classic Theatre as we visit the town that inspired Emily Bronte's novel, Haworth in West Yorkshire. Now, while the story and the film are considered classics, the story behind the making of the film was anything but. As we mentioned, Laurence Olivier was disappointed that Vivien Leigh was not offered the role of Kathy. Merle Oberon, who was awarded the role, well, she was not pleased with the choice of her co-star either. Oberon had hoped that Douglas Fairbanks Jr. would be given the part of Heathcliff. To make matters even worse, Olivier and Oberon, to say the least, did not get along. Olivier treated her coldly and later even refused to speak with her off camera. Oberon, meanwhile, found Olivier boorish. After a love scene between the two, Oberon yelled at Olivier for spitting on her, the result of his effort to project his voice enough for the microphones. Oberon was also unhappy with the casting of David Niven in the film, as she and Niven had had a love affair 3 years earlier. And to add to the misery of all of this, David Niven had a running feud with director William Wyler throughout the making of the motion picture. It's a wonder the movie was ever made at all. And now let's get back to our happy cast and crew in Wuthering Heights. Instead of our regular mailbag feature, we thought we'd take a few moments and show you the Haworth of today. Main Street is lined with a variety of shops and galleries and cafes, many converted from cottages originally used by hand loom weavers. The drugstore, where Branwell Bronte bought the opium to which he was addicted, has long since become a gift shop. The Black Bull Hotel is here. Branwell was a regular and popular patron. And between the parsonage and the church is the Sunday school where Charlotte, Anne, and Branwell taught. Visitors from around the world come here to Haworth to explore the area and see the inspiration for the Bronte family's literary writings. And now let's get back to Wuthering Heights. Hope you're enjoying our presentation of Wuthering Heights, a picture produced by Sam Goldwyn for United Artists. Formed by 3 of the most influential actors of their time, United Artists had a surprisingly great number of hits throughout their history. In the silent era, United Artists had solid hits with such pictures as the original Robin Hood, The Gold Rush, and Stella Dallas. And the 50s brought Around the World in 80 Days, and biblical epics such as Solomon and Sheba, which earned good returns for the studio. In the 60s, United Artists began filming the James Bond series, from Dr. No in 1962 to The Spy Who Loved Me in 1977, and A View to a Kill in 1985, and all the others in between. In the 70s, the Rocky picture starring Sylvester Stallone also kept the cash register ringing. The big downer for United Artists in the 80s was the Western epic Heaven's Gate. Filmed at a cost of $40 million, it earned only $1.5 million at the box office, and it remains one of the costliest flops of all time. And just who were those three famous actors who formed United Artists? We'll tell you when we get around to our trivia quiz. And now let's return to Wuthering Heights. From Haworth in Yorkshire, it's time for our movie trivia quiz. Earlier in the program, we mentioned that United Artists Film Company was formed by three legendary film stars. Can you name them? We'll be back with the answer in just a moment. Here's the answer to our movie trivia quiz. The three all-time greats of the silver screen who formed United Artists in 1919 were Mary Pickford, her husband, actor Douglas Fairbanks, and comic genius Charlie Chaplin. The three actors were also producers who wanted control over the distribution of their films. And owning their own company was the only way to attain that power. And now let's return to Wuthering Heights.
Travel arrangements for Red's Classic Theatre provided by the British Tourist Authority. Accommodations in York provided by the Grange Hotel. Ground transportation in Great Britain provided by Kenning Car Hire.
Well, that's all for this week's special edition of Red's Classic Theatre. Be sure to join us next Sunday night at 9 o'clock for our second show from England. And some thanks are in order. Thanks to Karen Squires of the British Tourist Authority, Jim McKeechee of British Airways in Vancouver, and the Grange Hotel in York for the accommodation. Now join us next Sunday night at 9 o'clock for the 1978 spectacular Superman the Movie, filmed in England's Pinewood Studios and starring Christopher Reeve, Margot Kidder, Gene Hackman, and Marlon Brando. In the meantime, if there's a motion picture you'd like to see or the suggestion of a location, write to Red Robinson, KVUS TV in Vancouver. And a special thanks to James Sellers of the Bronte Museum for allowing us to come and visit. We had a wonderful time. Join us next Sunday night at 9 o'clock. We come to you from Pinewood Studios near London for Superman the Movie. Until then, good night, everybody.